Alright, so we're going to start off with doing these two pieces first. Great. Okay, so let's see. Not too sure how this is going to go. Coming off the light. I would assume it goes like so. Yep, that is how it goes. Okay, cool. So let's set that to the side. Here's my scoring blade. There we go, got that. Can't tell if that's... Okay, yeah, that's just a mount and fold. So let's go ahead and fold these guys. You know, honestly, it doesn't look like this is supposed to fold at all, but we'll... Yeah, it might. I scored it, but we'll see. It's like all these are mountain folds, nice and simple. This way we can tidy up the back of the helmet now. It looks like it's supposed to stay straight. Okay, let's see if we turn the model. Yeah, that doesn't bend. Okay. If you say so. I'll take your word, model. I like how this model ends up turning out. I may finish it in a different way to make it more durable instead of just paper. Man, that did not want to fold for me. That's fine. See, that's how it's supposed to. Just the whole thing's supposed to nice and easily fold, but that one just did not. I know I scored it. I can feel it. Maybe it was just light on my blade. Because with as thick as this paper is, you do have to actually score it pretty hard. If you're not careful, though, you'll cut through it instead of scoring. So this should work. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead. We'll glue this guy on first. We will still use the Gorilla Glue for the most part. But if I have any trouble areas, I now have good super glue ready to go. Fresh super glue. Yeah, since I knew I wouldn't have too much time tonight to stream, I decided to go ahead and just pre-cut the majority of everything. I left everything with one cut left, so it's not completely cut. But we're gonna see if we can manage to not get salty tonight while I do this, unlike last night. So that. And today we're just drinking lemonade. Condensation. Well, that is interesting. This is definitely yellow. Yellow, not green. That's neat. Anyway, thank you, Chroma Key. Make sure the hand's completely dry. Alright, so let's start off with gluing to here. So it accidentally glued those two pieces together. Which is a mistake. Hi, Is. I hear you. This may be where we end up having to not dust Gatorade. Close. It's just cheap Walmart flavor packet lemonade. How's your night going for you? Brand new. So liquidy. Look, see, that's what it's supposed to look like. Not supposed to be the damn gelatin it was. And now, watch how quick and easy this is when you use super glue. Like good super glue, not dried super glue. Okay, it's glued. And that's going to be a much tighter bond than that will be. So... No. Last thing we want is for that to fall over. Alright. Okay, so that connects to there. Don't, yeah. Okay, so I didn't get any glue on that edge there, but that's not a big deal. Because, since we have a nice thin brush, we just take, pull it apart slightly. Around. Cyanacrylate, right to the eyeball. Wipe that away. Okay. Yeah, because looks like this piece is over there. Okay. We'll cut those off in a moment. Glad I didn't just try to glue that piece over. Like, I thought about it. Really? You came undone, huh? Tore a little bit. I'm actually very surprised by that. Did I not have any glue on there? Weird. There. I see that you're wet. I smell that you're wet. Please don't take that out of context. Must not have put much glue on it. That's unusual. Okay. I kind of want to... I'm thinking I'm going to put the ear cups on as the last step. That seems like a fun way to torture myself. We'll just say that. Because I don't expect it to be easy to put those on. Okay. That's how that was supposed to go. Let's make sure this is where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to go like this. That's gonna be an interesting one to glue, isn't it? only downside to the super glue is you get pretty much one chance to glue. So I'm going to be extremely careful, make sure I get it exactly where I need it. Did you? God, this thing is drying up on me fast. This paper's absorbing it, which is weird. It's quality content right here, as you can barely see what's going on, but... Oh, I know why it's having an issue. Because there's glue on it from the Gorilla Stick. When I glued these two pieces together on accident. Shit. Okay. This might be an interesting one. Yep. Now, how much did I screw myself? Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen a few times. Yeah, because that's... Okay, so I have to glue this with the Gorilla Glue Stick. Because it already has glue residue on it. I'm gonna screw this. Apparently, Gorilla Super Glue and Gorilla Glue Stick do not play well together. Okay, maybe I should have glued the triangle in and then attached it. Bottom, press up. This is not the ideal way of doing this, but there. That's better. Seems like it's starting to hold. Hopefully when I glue the next tab over, it'll hold a bit better. Okay. What really sucks is when you spill the super glue. I wonder if there's... No, there shouldn't be glue on this corner. No, Gorilla Glue, that is. So I don't know why that's not holding. Yeah, good to know that if you have Gorilla Glue glue stick on it, it will stop it from holding completely with super glue. Was not aware. Okay, so let's... Oh! Glued my nail to my thumb there. Just dissolve it all on my finger. Ew, it's gluey! It'll wash off. Okay. So we got that. What? Okay, there must be Gorilla Glue on that corner. There has to be. Because it's not holding at all. There's not a lot of tension on it. Yeah, it's just pulling away. Guess we'll just hold it for a minute. Probably got Gorilla Glue on it when I glued down from glued across at some point. Yeah, so I'm holding. Oh, that's annoying. Damn it! There it is. One. Okay, so set this to the side for a moment. Set these two up here. Go ahead and cut this one out. This side first. Ended up going over to help my friend and his Russian father-in-law with a stove over at the place he's trying to sell. Figure out if it could be fixed or if it needed to be replaced, and after pulling it out, taking it apart, doing all the fun electrical stuff with it to see, what was wrong. Nope, needs to be replaced. It's from like 70s, maybe the 80s, and the main control board died on it, essentially. So it works, everything goes well, and then about 30 seconds in, it gives an F2 error code, which is for a control board. And good luck finding it. Found a couple online, but I couldn't guarantee they would actually work because there were no images. And with that model, there's different colors and such, because the control board also goes to the control panel. It's all one piece of that. Okay, so that was instantly adhered. So this goes like so, it looks like. Dry. Go. Yep, that's dried already. I guess it's holding a little bit, but not as much as I need it to. There. Let's see if that works. super glue is just so much better for time and ease of use. Minus the fact that you only get one chance. One chance and then it's solid. And it does also dry to a harder finish. I mean, super glue dries essentially to a plastic, so. Go. Oh. Started to get glued to it for a second there. Okay, that is starting to make it look more like a helmet. Into the model. This is supposed to go inwards, but this is supposed to be outwards, but that's not happening. Can I pop this out at all? It's supposed to be like this. The tension of the paper is just a little too much for it, seems. Right, let's grab this bottom one. Put this to the side for a minute. Let's cut this guy out. I have so much dog hair on this shirt. Oh my god. Yeah, so far tonight is going much smoother than it did last night for us. That's good. Okay with this. It's really hard to manage that paper when it's kind of like falling apart. It's only got one little piece holding it together, so you know. Go. That's how you know you did a pretty good scoring job there when it just easily bends for you like that. Let's grab that guy. Work and work. Alright, let's glue it together. So I don't know if you've ever had a large amount of super glue like on your flesh. It actually burns because it's an exothermic reaction. So having spilled super glue on myself a few times now, I can attest that it actually does burn like hell when you have a ton of super glue land on you. I had enough that I definitely ruined a pair of jeans. Like, a hole about that big got solidified on my jeans. It's not one of my better days, that is for sure. Because at that point I was using some very thin super glue. And with very thin super glue, it literally just pours out like water. Amazing. Until you spill it. Make sure you're actually in frame, buddy. Go. Get that glued on. Doesn't help that I wipe away super glue with my finger. Also happy this brush doesn't have any of the strands just out like crazy. A lot of times you'll open these and you'll have a strand that's like 90 degrees out to the side. Just ruins everything. You have to cut it off and then your scissors get glue on them and it's terrible. Because that one strand will ruin things if you let it. Okay, let's see if we can get this one to glue properly for us, since I know there's glue stick near this area. Go. Okay, so next should be the side chin piece, which will help really bring all this together. That's not going to go in, no matter how much I try. Man, that's a weird way to do the helmet on the back, but whatever. Okay, so next up are these two pieces. So this is the top one. This goes on the front, this side right here. It looks like that this is a valley fold right here. Is it a valley or is it a mountain? Nope, it is mountain. Okay. Looks like all these are mountain folds. That's good. Makes it easier. This is going to be a little difficult. How many they are and how small they get. Come on. Doing well, just keep doing what you're supposed to do. Does that... Where's my paper? Right, still. These two go together. Yep, they do. 115 to 115, it looks like. Okay, cool. go. It's looking better. Happy with it. Then lastly, this one, we can start to glue everything together. Yay. Okay, so these two go together, like so. No, they didn't quite get that right, did they? There it is. Alright, so these two go together, but as you can see, the white kind of sticks past it. So go ahead and cut that off right there. There we go. Now is it right? Yeah. Alright, so before I start gluing everything, I want to see how this actually goes together. Okay, so that... Okay, so that's the bottom. Got it. I see. Okay. You make sense now. I'm figuring you out. With my finger to it again. Let that dry for a sec. This guy goes around like this. Let's not throw it on the ground. Better. Okay, so should probably attach this one first. Yeah, well, I guess I could attach that one first. Might be easier. Make sure it lines up everywhere. Glue you without glue where I don't want it. Let that dry. Over. That one needs to be ash. It's because, well, a lot harder to do this once starting on something I didn't realize. Now we're gonna have to grab the scissors, which are hi. There's a dog there. Okay, the scissors are back here. Set door. Yes, I love you. You good boy and stay there. Okay, put those to the side. Okay, this over like that, and all should be well. Highs. Go down. Now this, I assume, connect right. Okay, let's try that again. Bring the model over. Yeah, okay, so this connects right here. Man, this is gonna be a nightmare for myself. You can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make this difficult myself. I'm gonna glue it in. So that means when the time comes, it's supposed to be here like this. Time comes for me to put the ear in. It's gonna be a lot more difficult. But I'm gonna do it. Because I have super glue now. So I can manage tight tabs with super glue. Okay. All right. I can barely fit this thing. I guess we'll have to put it on this camera. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now let's get the other one on. Fold this over. First, have to, fold it. Spread. Cut that off just right now, so I know I'm gonna have to. Jesus, man, 3 messages? Come on. It's funny, like, I don't hear from people all day, and then I start streaming, they start messaging me every time. Every time. Finally remember the name of the stuff I used to spray on my models to make them a little bit nicer and protect them some. It was Mod Podge. Don't know why I couldn't remember that the other day. The aerosol works so much better than the like vat of liquid that you can brush on. Guessing Sai already went to bed for the night because it's pretty late. Because it's I think 3 a.m. there. Yeah. Thank you for going under the desk. Good boy. Thank you, autocorrect, for failing me. Damn it! Oh, hey, you're not asleep. How's it going? Just lurking? Always good, I appreciate it. Providing everything goes as planned, we will be finishing this up tonight. I should have cut that before I started gluing. Oh, really? You didn't take a little bit of a bubble there. Really need to make sure I get this thing centered. I keep messing that up. Come on. Also, whenever your fingerprints have been melted off with super glue, your Touch ID on your phone doesn't work anymore. Always fun. That guy in. And that is super glue on my thumb. Because it wouldn't be a Papercraft project without some super glue. Come on. Dip this in. Wrap. There we go. This guy. Do we have enough glue on here? Yeah, we do. Alright, and now it's time for the ear parts, which I will build those separate, complete them, and then tab them in. Because that seems like the best way to torch myself. And let's be honest, we know that's what everyone actually wants to see. We're not fooling anyone here. We may be a nice community, but we also like to watch each other suffer. This way you guys can see it the same way I do. Put that over. We're not going to put this on our head yet. Guess we'll just put it over here for the time being. We'll put it on her head at the end, though. How? I just had a dog hair in my mouth. Alright. So, ear cups. Not entirely sure how these go together. So, oh, that's the other ear. Alright, so it's gonna be those two. Where does this guy go? Eh? Oh. Okay. Alright, so I think what we'll do is we'll make this circle first. I can't see where I'm pointing to with my mouse, but this circle first. Put the inside rim in, and then put in the whatever you call that. See where we can go from there. See if that works the way I want. Let's go ahead. Let's cut all the pieces out. Once I remember which ones. Yeah, look how quick this will be. Bam, 1. 2. 3. 4. My head is in the shot, isn't it? It is. And then number 5. Man, whole page cut out just like that. Amazing. Go. Saves us like 4 hours. Okay. So these two just kind of go together like this. Let's go ahead and bend them first. So you are mountain, or you are valley, you are mountain. And then you are valley. Or valley, and where did you go? Looks like you are mountain. Perfect. So these two go together. So this part might not take nearly as long as I thought it would, which is awesome. So we've got like 1.5 pages fully done already, and it's only an hour because we didn't have to spend an hour scoring everything. Go ahead and scoring, but cutting everything. Okay, that piece is done. Now we need to take this piece. It goes on the inside. This should be pretty easy, I think. Oh, blue. For a reason, my hands are not super stable tonight. Why? Right, because I forgot to eat for way too long tonight. So my diet, for the most part, is Soylent now, obviously, as I said. And with that, because you're not actually chewing or not actively eating it, however you want to say it, you are a little bit more susceptible to what's the word I'm looking for? It's 19. I assume this is what they meant. 16, 14. I wonder. Okay, that goes there. Okay, those two do go together. the numbers don't match. They do. Okay, so oh, okay, yeah. Anyway, I totally got distracted there because I couldn't. Not consuming. Yeah, you're not chewing, and so your body doesn't think that you've actually consumed food because of that. It's a weird sensation, but also because it's liquid and doesn't require your body to process so much, it does burn faster. So you get hungrier quicker, and when you get hungry, it's like super hungry super quick. So it does require like maintaining a time for eating. And I know this because I've done a swallow diet a few times now over the years. So like I'm aware of what happens, and I was supposed to have another Soylent at like maybe 6ish, and I didn't have one until almost 8 o'clock. So yeah, that really messes with you when you do that. So I think that might be why my hands are a little shaky. Okay, so sorry, I got sidetracked there because I was trying to figure out what was going on with the numbers. So whenever you have tabs like this, or you're doing a glue up like this, what you can do is you can just fold the tab all the way over. You get like a hard crease on it. Put glue on your tab, and then just roll it over. That way it lines up. Makes it much easier than trying to do what you would normally do of like, okay, glue this tiny little section. It's kind of why I went back to my brush, my super glue, so that way I could more easily do this. So I just get my glue, put it on there. There's a little bit left on the brush. And then just line everything up. Roll onto your tab. Fold your tab back over. Boom. Perfect. Now, I know this doesn't have glue anymore on the tip, so. Same thing with this one. Kind of pull away slightly. Plonk. That one's perfect. It's amazing how quickly your body processes a pretty much fully liquid diet. Once it does, it runs out of energy. Like, God help you. Better have food nearby. Whether it's more Soylent or more liquid diet, whatever, meal replacement plan, or actual food. Because it's not like carbohydrates and bread, pizza, spaghetti, things like that. Things I live off because I'm Italian. That's a slow release type food, type agent. So, let's say you eat pasta, you can go maybe 12 hours without having to eat again because it's still just burning off, your body's processing it. Yet that doesn't happen with Soylent or other liquid diets. Yeah, it's very weird to get over the not chewing aspect of food if you go to like a purely Soylent diet or purely liquid meal replacement diet. Okay. Because you have to train your mind to say, hey, even though we didn't chew anything, we consumed food, we're full. It's very easy for someone that tries to do a meal replacement diet to gain weight because they will drink their meal replacement shake and go, oh, I'm still hungry, let me eat real food. And they take in like 4,000 calories a day. Happens. All right, let's see, should I put... Damn it. It's like that bottle of Soylent you guys saw me drink on stream last night is 400 calories. And I know calories aren't everything when it comes to dieting, weight loss, all that. Don't let anyone try to tell you, oh, it's just calories in, calories out. It's not. We thought that for many years. It is just not true. But there is some substance to it. If you eat 4,000 calories and that's not what your body's used to, you're gonna gain weight. So that happens to a lot of people. About my outlet replacement, or DIY outlet replacement video on YouTube today. So, oh, you're the other way. Okay. Don't expect that to do too well initially, but I kind of think in a couple months maybe the algorithm will help me out and it'll do well. Be nice if so. Okay, so this will just go like that. It's only 7 minutes long, but a lot of people don't know how to replace an outlet, so let's help them out. If people want to see it or anyone asks, I'll make one for light switches too. One for a regular light switch, one for a three-way, because they are different. Slightly, not too much, but... Oop. Yeah, shh. Come on. Alright, so for this one, what I'll have to do is, obviously it's going to go in like this. I'll have to bring all these up the opposite way. So they're going to have a double bend in them. That's fine. But this way it's easier. Come on. So line it up. I'll probably do, we'll do this top one first, instead of doing it around in a circle. Go. Put that one in. And that just makes it a little bit easier because now the rest of this will pretty much be in line. So we'll do number 46 next. Sometimes if you just go like in a complete circle, you will accidentally like be off by a little bit, and then you have to try and pull your paper over. That's never fun because paper doesn't stretch. I know, probably no one realized that. Everyone thought it was like rubber bands, just elasticity all day long. But no, that it doesn't happen, much to my dismay. And then you have to unglue it. And if there's anything we've learned, ungluing is a pain in the ass. So I usually will do bottom, the top, sometimes the left and right. Doesn't seem like that's necessary for this one, so we're not going to do it. Just try and keep everything nice and square, because like I love how you don't see any white around this. Like he really did a good job building this this model for everyone. Because if you have someone that's not super great at making these templates and guides and all that, a lot of times this won't fit in properly. Like their tabs will be a little off, and it causes it not to line up the way it should, and then it just doesn't look as nice. It doesn't look as crisp. But this, like, he did a perfect job on it. It lines up beautifully. I can't knock this guy, whoever it was that made this. And I did pay for this. Like, so a lot of Papercraft you can get for free. You don't have to pay for it, not a big deal. But for the helmets, it was, I think, $10 for all of them. Totally worth it if you like Papercraft and you like Megaman. The back of the helmet's a little weird, but That might be how Zero's helmet is. They probably looked at it a lot more in 3D than I did. Or ever have, you know, so. And that part is done. I'm all for giving credit where credit's due for this kind of thing. I don't even know if you can buy these templates anymore. Let's get this one ready. And trust me, I've tried my fair share of bad templates. Like I have one for Megaman that I can't complete it. I tried. The model was just way too weird. And there's really no instructions for it. It's just like, here's a bunch of parts. Good luck. Maybe with the PDO I can do it, the actual Papercraft file, like what I have here. Because I do have it for it. Back when I was putting it together, I just printed it all out, brought it to work. Didn't have Papercraft on my computer at work because, work computer. So maybe I could do it if I have the model here to kind of look everything over like I do for this, but maybe. Honestly, if I do that, if I build a Mega Man model, I would like to do it notably larger. Like, have it be my size. And that'd be a lot of work to blow up all the pieces and get them the right size, but I think it'd be awesome. I know there's a lot of pictures online of a guy who did a life-size Link, and that's amazing. Life-size Master Shield, Master Sword. Totally want to do it. It'd be insanely difficult. It would be completely worth it. Alright, just to make sure, you do go here, right? Yeah, okay. Make sure you don't go to the other side. A lot of times you'll have models do something kind of what this one did, where you have pieces that go on opposite sides on, like on their other respective sides. So like, this piece could go to the other side, and there will be no instructions. You have no idea. You can't figure out why the hell it doesn't line up or go together. Now this model, they do something that's really nice. He's got the numbers and everything. I say he. I don't know if the creator's male or female. I just generic assume male. They put the numbers on there, so that makes it notably better. So that way that doesn't happen. If you pay attention to the numbers, that thing I haven't really done this whole time because I have the PDO. But a lot of times you have nothing. It's just good luck, have fun. And fun turns into not fun very quickly when you get very angry. Everything doesn't go together. Oh boy. Okay, so now we need to figure out how this goes in. Okay, so here is right here we have goes so right there, goes like this. It looks like, ooh, this can be a little difficult. Okay, very carefully. Mark that huge glob right there. That's what she said. mean, that's a good thing she says that, right? Ego boost. I'm trying to remember what I said. I think I said it's not going to fit. So, ego boost. So next, we will glue marker 12 over here to right there, and then we're going to have a hard time getting the rest of these to line up. It shouldn't be too hard. I mean, I've been praising this model this whole time, so hopefully my praise will continue with this next section here. Fold all those over aggressively. Okay, good. Yeah, a lot of times I will talk and it will not go into my short-term memory at all for what I said. So it's like, oh, what'd you say? I'm like, no idea. Sorry. Like, well, you just said it, but you forget that one of my jobs is to just talk for hours. It doesn't matter what I say. It's just as long as I do it. And yes, I do view Twitch as kind of like a job. I see the dog hair on my face. I don't like it. Alright, so now, all these. Let's do this one next. So this one I am going to do like top, bottom, left, right. That will be difficult. Nope, I've messed with it too long, it seems. No? Oh, got it. Now let's hope it actually holds. There. Okay, that wasn't too bad. This one. It's not holding well, but it's holding. I may have to go over it with a little bit more glue later, but we can do that as needed. Let's fold you all the way up. Get you nice. Get you up there. I don't glue myself too terribly much. Oh yeah, that's gonna end with me being stuck to this. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, that makes me happy when it lines up that well. Sorry, guys. Just ha. Just accidentally kicked my dog under me. Didn't realize he was still there. This poor dog. He gets tripped over, which means he gets kicked a lot. And I don't mean to, ever. Like, I'll be walking and he just stops. Because he'll be walking like in front of me or between my legs because German Shepherd. And he'll just stop. No warning. And I'm not usually looking down and paying attention, so I like knee him in the back and fall and trip. And then he looks really concerned, like, oh, you okay? Like, why'd you fall? Like, okay, walking tank. Jesus. I fell because you just stopped. And like, this is a daily occurrence. I wish it wasn't. Oh. But he really is. He's just like a walking tank. Cannot hurt this dog by walking into him. I mean, he hits so much stuff with his head. Like just earlier today, we were in the office here playing a little bit because I was working, so I can't really beat. Damn it. Okay. Anyway, we'll let this dry. Attach my thumb. We couldn't really get out of the office to go play outside. Plus, it was raining because Florida. And he was next to the door. The door wasn't fully open. And he just aggressively like turns his head to the side and just smacks it against the door. And then looks at the door confused as to why it's there. Ah. Okay, so when your finger gets really glued to it, you have to cut your finger off of it. Ow. Okay, so we're going to show this on camera. It's right here. That's my flesh. It's only the topical layer. It's not that bad, but still. It really didn't, like... And he hit so many things. So I replaced a wall in my house, and it was a corner wall. And so I put corner bead on it, like you're supposed to. There's two types of corner bead that you can use. You can use the plastic kind, which is easier to work with. Or you can buy the metal kind, which is meant for like commercial use. I went with the metal because my dog is stupid. And he hits it with a lot of shit. Like he has ran into that corner probably a dozen times since I built it in the last like 4 months. And it's still holding up great. I know if I went with the plastic, it would be dented and shit. Like at my old house, I had to fix a couple of the corners because he had done so much damage by running into it. It was not fun. Alright, so this is the left side ear. Come on. Okay, so providing everything lines up properly. So I'll go in. So this will help reinforce this section right here because it actually tore some. I just felt my brush go underneath it. Damn it. But I do love him more than anything else in this world. Well, I mean, excluding my parents and my brother, but any non-direct family more than anything in the world. And yeah, he's so special. He really is, but it's good. Because he is the most wholesome creature in the world. Okay, so I think what I should do... Yeah, we'll stick with what we've been doing. We will glue this bottom one first. Or next, I should say. Like all he wants is to be with me and be happy, and I cannot express how happy that makes me. Because I've always wanted a dog like him. Like, growing up, we had a part chow, part God knows what, and he was a good dog. Like, he never really did anything that was bad, and I'll admit, I was a shitty kid. And I was not the best, that poor dog. So I feel bad about it, like, looking back. I had two hens, I had two chickens, and he was not really great with the chickens, so I would defend my chickens. Yeah. But, like, he was a good dog, but he didn't do a lot. He just kind of kept to himself and didn't play fetch, didn't like want to be with you. Like, he'd lay down near you sometimes, but he didn't do a whole lot. But he was a good dog. But he was a boring dog. Whereas it is just like his whole goal in life is to be happy, make you happy, and loves to play fetch and everything. He'll play tug of war with anyone but me. It's kind of funny. So Izyan obviously sees me as like the alpha. And he will not play tug of war for me. He will not take something from me. And I appreciate it, but I really like playing tug of war with dogs. Like, it's fun. He won't do it. Come on, get the hand in there. There. Let's take this tab. But what's really funny is he'll play tug of war with my parents' dachshund. That poor dachshund, man. He will sling her across the room. Not like intentionally, but, you know, they'll just yank it and she's a dachshund. So, bye. Also, his idea of fun is putting her whole head in his mouth, which makes her very gross all the time. Okay. So that's done. So now let's see. Can I get this other tab, the one that's kind of torn, where I need it to before glue dries on it? This is likely going to result in me gluing my hand to it again. Okay, here we go. I need to get this under, bring this over. I'm glued to it at the second. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. Not easily. Whew. Nope. Ah, that was wishful thinking. Okay. So let's see if I can glue 11 first then. Oh, there's so much glue on my finger now. It's terrible. There's like no good way to grab any of this to put it in right here. Okay, we may have to do it like this. So glue this tip here first. It's taken a maybe... No, damn it. You need to stay. Just get this edge lined up right here, and then I'll glue the rest of it in a minute, I guess. Doesn't help that I just took like 4 years to set it in, so it's not... Glue is starting to dry up on me already. There we go. No. Don't do what you're doing. There, do that. Do that. That's exactly what I want. Perfect. I may have to add some glue. No! What? Why'd you not hold? No reason for you to not hold. Because I know there's glue on you. Oh boy. Okay, now... you staying where you are, I need to glue this other tab underneath. Oh, that's gonna end terribly. Slather glue on it and up. Wonder if there's glue. The stick glue on the edge right there. I'm glued to it. Shit. Okay. It's just hard to finagle. Ugh. helmet where I need it to go. There. There's so much glue on my fingers. There. Okay, I think I finally got that to glue down. I need to re-glue this tab that's underneath. Because, like, it's holding right here, but just barely. Like, one tiny piece got glued well. The rest of it did not. Okay, so let's fold that up. That came glued right there, didn't it? Oh. Like you can see, this is hardly glue at all. Why? That's, my arm's just been in the way that whole time, I'm sure. But that's not much I can do there. Okay, so this section right here won't be as pretty, but working what I got. There. Let's fold these two tabs out. The same song hasn't been playing, has it? I don't think so. I just know I've heard this song a couple times now. Okay, cool. I honestly was not sure. All right. This tab still is not. Why? I'm sure I'm going to regret doing that because it's going to spill out as soon as I tuck it in, but just got the cyanacrylate smoke in my eyeball. Yeah, there's glue in that corner. God damn it. That's why it's not taking. Well, that's as good as that's gonna get there. Okay, so I say as I continue to mess with it. Let's move on to the last sheet. Cut all these out real quick. So I think with this one, I'm going to attach this outside ring first. I think that will just make my life not be so terrible in a minute. We're going to see. We'll see. It might make it worse. I'm not sure. Okay. Can't feel much in the tips of my fingers anymore. So one thing I like about doing Gundams instead of things like this is Gundams don't have a whole like inside tabs like this. It's all, you know, you're building squares and circles and such, and it's just easier to glue, I think. It's also more straightforward with the way that you build it. Because I can't feel most of my tips of my finger here. It's kind of hard to fold these over cleanly. Go. This one. Okay. There. Let's glue this together. Alright, so let's see if this makes things easier or more difficult. This side is also a little different the way that it's designed. So, you know, the other side we had a tab here and tab here. This one we only have the tab right here. So that will be our starting point. We'll glue that one. That burns. Whenever the cyanoacrylate off gases, it's terrible. Because I think being able to reach in this way make it to where I can actually apply pressure where I need it. I say as I fail to do so. There. Man, that tear is terrible. Ha! Didn't mean to make that pun. Cool. Alright, so now can we... I think we can do that. So, terrible tear. And attach just like that. Good steak. Beautiful. See, that's how it's supposed to glue together. Nice and pretty like that. Not fight me. Every step. Okay, so next we're going to glue this one here. Just like that. So alright, so let's take all these tabs. Nice going, folding under pressure. Maybe I can get this one on top. Nope. Cannot. It's not a clean glue line at all, but we'll work with it. Yeah, being able to put my hand through it like this to hold it. Welcome back, Sai. Definitely makes it much easier to hold. Just like that. Off-gassing into the eyeball again. God. Damn it. That's a good one. Ow. Yeah, that one was glued in there pretty good. That's not how that was supposed to go, but we'll work with it. Whenever you're working with super glue, always only do one tab at a time. You do not try to push your luck and do multiple tabs. It will not work the way you think. It will end very badly. Alright, so now we just have this tab right here, which is going to be an interesting one to do. As I think it will be. I have to like finagle it to fit in here now. Alright, well, I think I got a little off on that one, so that's probably about as good as we're gonna get. Hold that for a second, then it's time to take a quick break for lemonade. And this still's taking 2 hours. I was thinking it was gonna go a bit quicker since I didn't have to actually cut things, but it's wrong. Alright, so I guess I think what I'll do is I'll build the rest of it now and then attach it into there. I think that's a good idea. This seems like the way to go. I've been building Papercraft for 10 years. You'd think I'd be good at it by now. So it's funny, the first Papercraft model I ever tried to do was the unicorn. I tried to do it as the 24-inch version originally. Started it back when I worked at a company called Clearwire. And never did finish it because they outsourced all of us and we got fired and all that fun stuff. I never completed it because I didn't have time. But I was building it out of just like regular computer paper. When I tell you that did not work well, oh my god. So years later, almost 7 years later, I built the 6-foot version of it. That was amazing. But yeah, started as my first Papercraft and just kept going with it. Cool, thanks Hans. Just made it bigger. And then after I did it, I built it again, but I built the 24-inch version. Still need to finish the Death Scythe, but I'm not going to do that on stream because I don't have much left for it. And it's also, that's the least exciting one to build. As awesome as it looks, because it's black on black, so I have to really study the lines. Oh man, it's terrible. There's a reason it's taken me 3 years to do it. So I stopped working on it in 2018? Yeah, back in 2018. But I started it like November-ish. Oh, those were all the other way. Oh well. I started working on it like October, November-ish of 2017. So we're coming up on 3 years. I have not completed that poor Gundam. Because then it just sat in a box after I lost that job and did not work on it. Because once again, didn't have time. Because not many companies are okay with you bringing in, a whole setup like this to do Papercraft. For some weird reason. Don't know why. Can't imagine any reason they wouldn't be okay with this. Specifically the razor blade part. And And since, the most time I had to do things was while I was working. If there's one thing I'm able to do really well with like any job I have, is multitask. And so like I can be talking on the phone doing customer service and tech support while also doing other things. Or like with my last job before my current one, it was sales, kind of. It was business development. And that was awesome. I hated the job so much. Loved the company, did not like my job, hated my manager. But I was initially I was a department of one, and then one of my old gymnastics students became part of my team. So I was a team of two. She left the company, so I went back to a team of one. Now you would think if you are a team of one, the only one who knows how to do a job, you would have like some job security and like buying power. Nah, not when you have an asshole who does not know how to manage as a manager. He ended up firing me, which I was perfectly okay with because I was literally quitting in like 2 days. And yeah, he lost all the knowledge I had, which meant how to do everything for that job properly. He hired a few more people after me. They were all terrible because they didn't know how to do the job. No one knew how to train them for it because, oh yeah, he fired the one person who knew how to do the job. Imagine that. And they ended up flopping really bad. It was funny. He actually asked one of my old coworkers to reach out to me and see if I could get them, ask them to ask me how to do the job. And they told me about it. They're like, yeah, so he asked if I would reach out to you in regards to learning how to do the job. I was like, well, he can go fuck himself. He's like, yeah, that's why I figured I would tell him regardless. Because no one liked the guy. So wonderful. But the reason I was going to quit was, I have the job I have now, but I'd gone up to him and, as the only one in the department that knows how to do the job, knows how to create the documents for training and everything, I said, hey, been with the company for a bit over a year now in this role. I built the role up. I trained a whole other person. That person left the company to go somewhere else, so no fault there. I know you're hiring someone else new, in a couple of weeks here. I'd like to ask to get a $1.50, $2 raise to make me comparable for similar jobs in this area, because they paid about $17 an hour and I was making $15 an hour. And he laughed in my face. He's like, well, why do you think you deserve a raise? I'm like, here's the list of things. He's like, well, that's just your job. I'm like, nope, none of that is my job. I was doing it as extra, to try and like put myself in a position where I could get a raise. Like, the business development department does not need to create training documents or teach other departments how to do their job. That's not part of it. The call quotas we had, I went above and beyond because we didn't have like any performance metrics or anything. I essentially created those so that way I could have some way to measure ourselves. And then they kept tacking on additional responsibilities for the job. And I was like, nah, not without extra pay. Like, you're going to have me do 2 other departments' full jobs? Not cool, bro. And he was not on board, so yeah, he ended up laughing in my face and said, nope, you're not going to get a raise. So I said, okay. I gave him an ultimatum. Essentially, I said, hey, look, either get the raise or I'm going somewhere else. You choose. And he chose to fire me because he thought he was some alpha male and alpha boss, and then realized he completely fucked himself, and it was hilarious. I actually had a job lined up with a different company, but it was I had to move for it. I'm glad I didn't take it. The pay would be about double what I'm making now, but was not enough to warrant me moving states to a state I definitely don't want to be in. Like, I don't want to be in Georgia, man. I like Florida for a few reasons. Like, I hate the humidity, the temperature, and the rain, but we don't have state tax. We don't have annual inspections on vehicles. And for the most part, you can kind of just do whatever here. Like, they don't really care a whole lot. I know Georgia is a lot more strict about that kind of shit, so I didn't want to go there. Plus, I already have a foothold here with my rental properties and such, so it's not fun to be away from everything. Like, yes, I have a property management company that handles all my stuff, but just in case, I'd like to be close by. You know, within, say, an hour, not 6 hours away. And Georgia, for where it would have been about 6 hours away. So I told them, like, hey, if if I can do the job remote, I'll happily join you guys. Like, we really don't want to do the position remote. You know, it makes communication difficult. Anytime I hear from a company, remote makes communication difficult, that tells me they're not mature as an organization, and there's a lot of issues. Because any company that needs face-to-face contact with their employees to communicate effectively, and usually it also means there's some shady things going on. Because, we want to have a meeting, but only face-to-face. We don't want it on record anywhere. Like, why? Why would you want that? Why wouldn't you want it in email so that way we can easily reference it, if need be? And the thing is, like, this company was not small by any means. They had like 150 employees or something, or 90 employees. I don't remember how many employees they had, but they were by no means a small operation. It was the same type of job as what I have now for a managed service provider, but would have been a completely different role than I'm in. It would have been an analyst role instead of a tech role, which I would have enjoyed more. But I took a cut in pay to stay local, essentially. But they didn't want to do the remote thing, so I know with COVID they have not done well. They had to fire like 40% of their staff, so in the end it's best I didn't do it. So then I would be jobless in another state, and I don't rent, I buy. So I would have bought a house, had to deal with a mortgage. That would have probably been a bit difficult because houses there weren't super cheap. So I could have run into some pretty serious issues. So overall, it all worked out, is what I'm saying. I don't remember how I got on this topic. Oh well. Doesn't matter. I'm just hoping that the business I'm starting here, just waiting for all the documentation to come in, hands out pretty well for me. To be my own boss, make my own hours, and it'll be doing something I fully enjoy. Like, I don't enjoy tech support anymore. It's not my thing. Like, I'm good at it, but I hate it. I really do. I hate working on computers. Oh, so much. Actually, it's not the computers that I hate. Now, printers will always be, I hate printers. You can't try to convince me otherwise. Printers don't suck. But the actual, actually working computers, I don't mind. It's working with the clients to work on the computer. And our clients aren't terrible. I don't like doing it. Is that right? Yeah. Alright, so let's fold all of these over. And with the business I'll be doing, I won't really have to work with any of that. Like, I'll work with realtors for the most part. And a lot of it will be away from people. So, pretty excited. I've already done a few side jobs for it. So far, it seems like it should work well. So, I was waiting to really market it until I got the business license and everything in. With COVID, of course, it's taking its sweet time. And of course, I still hope that maybe one day YouTube and Twitch will bring in some money or something. But I'm not going to bet on that for obvious reasons. You know, like, all that could go away at a moment's notice. Like, would it be awesome if the YouTube channel blew up or something and I was able to make money from it? Hell yeah. Or, you know, Twitch became something I could do full time and really enjoy? Like, yeah, but I don't see it ever happening. You know, that's just a kid's dream there. A 30-year-old kid's dream. Like, also, I mean, with the damn it, the whole like making money from Twitch thing, as crazy as it would be, like, I would never want someone to subscribe to the channel if they don't have the funds to do so. Because I know there are some streamers that, like, they will beg for money and all that shit. Like, even if people don't have money, that sickens me. And like, I'm not doing this specifically for money. I'm doing this because it's something I enjoy. So it's just, if I make money off of it, that's an added benefit, if that makes sense. You know, as I was saying yesterday, I want to build this into a community, regardless of if there's financial gain for me. Because building community is more fulfilling to me than a paycheck. Because if I build a community, I want it to be a community of positivity, not a hateful community, obviously. No, I need more glue on that. Alright. Come on over. There we go. Perfect. So at 2 hours, we're about to be finished. You need to go in. Okay. We'll do that one next. Oh boy, you're gonna glue my finger. Oh boy, here I go gluing again. Yep, I feel it bonding. It's getting warm. Ow. Okay, we moved it before it got too bad. 2 left. I realize you guys can't see this, but there's no good way to get this in shot. I'm sorry. Okay, so I should have done this for the other side. This is so much easier than what I did the first time around. But I learned. I now know. All right, so that's it. She is done. So the back is still kind of weird. Like, I know right there it just looks ugly, but I've got the hole there. Not a whole lot I can do about that. You know, I can do a little bit of touch up here and there with the glue stick to make it, you know, clean up a little bit. And then you have right here is supposed to be more this is supposed to be out right here. Those are supposed to be in, but anyway. So this is Zero's helmet from Megaman X. The back isn't the prettiest because I messed it up a little bit. But inside, I mean, you can definitely fit a head in there. Sides, ear cups, which I think they turned out pretty well. All right, so let's hope there's no super glue. It's not drying. We're gonna put it on. I can't see anything. Sweet. So it's supposed to sit about there. We'll face the camera. So it definitely smells like super glue, which is not good. So if I were to make this helmet, I would have to pad the inside so that way it's not sitting on my nose. But, you know, it is completed, it is done. Oh, that has a huge delay. I wonder, do I have any foam I could pad over? No, I don't. Damn. Yeah. So there's the Zero helmet. And that's where it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm happy with it. So I may do a little bit of finishing on it to make it look a little bit nicer. I guess we can do it this way. This guy up. There. And let's turn this other one off. Okay. Oh God. Don't back up. So, right there. That's where it's supposed to be. We'll turn to the side. Okay. Awesome. Turn to this side. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I may have to see about a way to make this into an actual helmet. Could be fun. I mean, I've got a good template. It's not perfect, but you know, bring it in a hair. Like bring the jaws in, or whatever you call this part here. You know, so bring that in a hair. Yeah, I think we can turn that into a real helmet. I'll think on it. If I can figure out a way to do it, you know, I'll share those ideas on the stream. But yeah, that is all for tonight. I just want to get that done, and I'm pretty happy with it. So if you guys have ideas for the next Papercraft that we'll do, let me know. Let's see what folder is open right now. That's fine. But like, let's over this screen. For Gundams, there we go. Let's I really want to make that bigger. Oh well. Let's see. Manual PDO. That is the. Let me see. It's the. Shit. Just want to double check real quick. This is not the unicorn. I don't know what you are. I don't remember. Which Gundam are you? Ah, that's the Hakushiki. Okay. We might have to make that a little bit bigger. Unicorn. Is it papercraftsquare.com? Well, that one doesn't have a password. Which one had the password? Let's see. Paper-replica.com. I think that's what it is. I definitely need that password if we're going to do this. There we go. Okay, cool. Paper-replica.com. So, if we decide to build... Wow, you are way up there. Cool. If we decide to build the 6-foot unicorn, I have the template for it still. It is a lot. As I said, it's 500 pages. But we can do it. There's the bust. Oh man. We'll think on it, because it's going to cost me a pretty penny to do that. Optional guide. This is an optional part. You can use it if you want. Yes. Oh, that's just how to put stuff together. And then we also have the Astray red frame. Is this the whole model? Head and body? Yeah, that would be terrible. Ooh, we might do it. I just realized I might sound like a slight masochist when I say this. It just looks like it would be very, very difficult to do. I mean, you've got these super tiny little tabs like this right here. Can't really see. Let's get that off. So you've got these tiny little tabs over here. Those are always difficult. I mean, the Astray red frame is awesome Gundam. Arms look just badass. It's one of my favorite Gundams. I have the perfect grade model for it. Love it. Sword. I've built the sword before. I did it as a... it's about this long. I know you have no reference for that, but it was about, I'd say, almost 40 centimeters. 46.7 centimeters to be precise, apparently. So, I mean, this thing will be huge when it's done. The shield. What do y'all think? Do you think we should do the, do we have one leg? Think we should do the Astray next? So how do we invert this? Because that's all we have to do is just invert it a little bit. Because I think it's the same otherwise. Backpack is usually kind of terrible to do. Do they have the head? Guys, what did you do? Oh yeah, this will be a nightmare to print out because I have to make sure to only print out the backpack. It's weird. They kind of messed up there. Looks like the arm will move too, depending on how this joint is. Yeah, it looks like they've got... where would it be? Yep, so the arms would move because you've got a cylinder going through there. So that'd be pretty neat. We might do that next. How many sheets is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 17, 19 pages to do one leg. What do you guys think? Should we do the Astray red frame next? Try to. looks like a pretty good model, from what I can see. Because, like, I look at some of these and I go, oh, that's terrible. Oh, man, the way they did this. This is the color it yourself. No. All these are supposed to be black. It's like you pull up the red, 59 pages of red. None of it's red. So what you're supposed to do with something like this, you're supposed to print it on red cardstock or red paper. I wonder. Red, black, gold, silver. We'll have to see if we can find that. Anyway, that is all for the night. We finished the Zero Mask. So we will be calling it quits. I will be going to bed soon. And I thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.